What else are we talking about? Last thing.
We
Let's
are
do it.
talking about the Fantastic Four First Steps film.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And actually, dude, I wanted to get into this first before we
Okay.
get into the movie because I do have a little precursor to this.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes in life, a movie comes out and you'll go and see it. And at first, upon first watching, you just kind of like, yeah, I like that. I didn't love
Okay.
it. And that's how I felt when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh.
movie. I was a little late. I remember we had taken the kids that I worked with to Del Grosso for the day. My two buddies were at the theater already. I was like, I'm coming, guys. I just got back from work. I got to it a little late, but not like super late. And I just was like, I don't know. I was like, that was good. I saw it blow up all summer long. I was like, yeah, it was good. I don't know. I mean, maybe I missed something. And some time went on, and I ended up like torrenting it because I sailed the high seas back then. And
The Pirate Bay.
I did. And I watched it again, like in my apartment, you know, and it became one of my favorite Marvel movies at the time. The whole soundtrack's on my fucking thing. Like,
Yeah, it rocks.
it was like, what was I not seeing the first time I saw this that I'm seeing now? A little different with Fantastic Four because I still liked it quite a bit, but I had a lot that I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why all the hype. I don't get why people are loving it. Few things. I had been up at 3 a.m. that morning to edit the podcast episode that week, so I was sleepy. We had Chinese, I don't, all this
That will
stuff.
knock you out.
The Du Bois Theater. I'm nothing against them. I do love that theater. They didn't present the best. It was a little warm in the room. The screen, little hard to see at times, and the speakers. We go to Altoona usually. That place is bum.
Yeah, I go to the best movie theater in
That's
the
where we saw
world.
Superman.
I travel for it.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
totally.
How far are you from the Tune?
Just 50 something minutes, but some
Okay.
weekends I'm like, Du Bois.
That's me. When I go to Morgantown, it's about 50.
I was like, Du Bois should do. I don't know. When you can hear the guy a seat back eating his popcorn, I'm like, I don't think the music's loud enough.
That
so,
shit sucks.
There were a lot of things that were kind of taking me out of the movie
Yeah.
as I was watching it. It was hot. I really just wanted to
Get out
of there.
Yeah, I get it.
So, like, even though I enjoyed it, I was like, I even talked to one of my coworkers who also was just like, yeah, because it is. It's a very just like, this is the movie. This is what's happening. These are the problems.
Yeah, I have some complaints.
Yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but I wasn't feeling it per se. So, well, recently I started sailing the high seas again, and I found a way to rewatch it, in my own comfort zone.
It was your memories. You were dreaming it. Yeah, I
dreamed it. I just dreamed it in my own memories.
Yeah,
and my memories remembered the whole movie. And I watched it again.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it a lot more. I enjoyed it a lot. I was like, oh, wow. In a comfortable, like, me not wanting to just be done. I liked, there were some things that, like, I was critiquing
I liked the movie a lot.
Worked. I now like the movie quite a bit.
I liked the movie a lot. It's like, objectively, it's a good movie. It just
I don't know if I still think, like, sometimes I saw an ad the other day that was like, this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. And I'm just like, okay, it's not that good. Well,
so here's the problem.
Fine. It's fine.
Before I almost have to say this right away. If this movie came out in 2007,
yeah,
it would be the best superhero movie. The problem is this movie, I watched it and I was like, oh man, I like that. That was good. I sent you 2 thumbs up. The more I thought about it, I was like, damn it. They fucking got me. Like, they get everybody because it's the same cookie cutter of every movie they fucking make. Like, the plot is the same. It's all the same. The cookie cutter of, here we are. But now we do quick backstory. But it's like a restart of this universe. Oh, here's our big bad guy. We can't beat him. And we did beat him, kinda. It just feels... that's my complaint. But I can't say enough.
There's a good movie built around that structure.
I loved, like, watching it, I really liked it. When I finished it, I was like, I really liked it. As I thought about it more, I was like, man, I guess my complaint and it's hard. Like, I want to say the good things as well. The good
Yeah.
things, I think the
I
casting
started
is great.
negative, so yeah.
Let's talk goods really quick. Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal's good. Johnny Flame, fucking, I think he's
Johnny
the
Flame.
best. Is that his
Yeah.
name? Johnny Flame. He's the best. Johnny Storm, whatever. He's the
Mhm.
best. I think he's the best casting of the three. I think Sue Storm should try to revert or sue everyone who gave her plastic surgery. That is my actual one complaint about the actual filming of the movie is, spoilers, she does something very extreme and like supposed to be putting her most effort in the world into it, and her forehead does not move. That is too much plastic surgery. Her forehead does not move. I love the time frame that it's like this old school time frame, right?
The universe they put it in is great.
It's great. That is all great. And the characters are believable. I like it. Okay. Complaints. I wish we could have got a little bit more into each character, right? Like, I don't feel like I bonded with them sometimes because there's just not,
Yeah.
I don't know, by trying to do all four, and I guess that's the problem with a Fantastic Four, is that like, I just don't feel bonded to any of the four of them. Like, I feel like with each of them, you get maybe like 4 or 5 sentences of here's who this character is. Like Johnny Storms, he's like, oh, I think I like Silver Surfer. I'm like kind of the fun one. And it's just kind of like, it just could be like, it just could be more developed. Each character could be a little bit more developed. And maybe that's where the movie's a bit rushed. That's my opinion on that.
Okay.
My real problem is, dude,
I felt that way a little. I just want to say
that each character could be more developed. That
but
is
when I watched it a second time, here's the crazy thing. When I watched it a second time, I was like, well, I do feel like actually I know these guys a little. Like, there were so many jokes that like landed better for me a second time because I felt like I knew them more because I knew them now.
It's not that I think they
the first
don't.
time around.
I think they do good things to develop them. It just, why not make the movie 10 minutes longer and give me a little bit more of these
not long.
characters? It's very short for one of these movies.
When I was
believe it.
dreaming, well, the weird thing with my dream was it had like a
It had
timer.
timestamps.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, it's almost over and it's only been on for an hour and 40 minutes. Like, holy
Yeah,
fuck.
so I was shocked about that because I just feel like they could have spent more time developing these characters because they had great actors for these characters. So it could have been done.
Well, it's because their plan is to develop them more throughout the more movies.
Right. So this is my problem. And that is what we're getting into is, listen, man, to me, it seems like almost so forced that like, and obvious that all they want to do is do Endgame again. They're like, we got to get Endgame again. We got to get Endgame again. We have to get back to Endgame. That's all they want to do. And they were trying to do that with that horrific character. The guy, I don't even care what he did as an actor, which apparently was not good. What was the black guy who beat up his girlfriend or some shit? Yeah. That guy fucking sucked. And they're like, this is going to be our new, like, everyone has to be the new Thanos, the new Thanos. We have to have this new overarching big bad guy. Everything has to be this crazy series. And it's just like, you know, when you think back to how the Marvel stuff started with Captain America and Iron Man, it just wasn't quite like that. You know, it came into that. It didn't start as that. And that's what they're doing here, obviously. Like, they're just trying to start this next big thing in that way. And sometimes when you do that, man, you hurt the individual movie itself. And that's where people fall in love with the characters to make Endgame matter to you. You know, like, you know, if fucking Reed dies in the next movie, I don't give a shit, you know, because you're not making me love these characters enough because you're trying to set up like a big series all the time. And, you know, just sometimes you don't need that.
Yeah.
That's a rant I've been holding in. Sorry.
What kind of sucks in this particular situation is like the different people in charge at Disney that were making calls and the things that happened that were kind of out of their hands to make the story have to go in this direction. Because I think in a different world, we could have had a Fantastic Four movie sooner and may have seen them in more stuff before the new Avengers movies. But I think they are course correcting as best as they can. And I think the next two movies will feel a lot differently about
and it is
these
a good
characters
movie
by then.
But it is a good movie. You would agree. It is a good movie. These complaints are being said, I think, because it feels almost a little bit frustrating because you're like, man, this is a movie that's like an 8 something out of 10 and just feels like so easily it could take another step. You know, it didn't feel
this
like
is his
it
first
feels
steps.
Like, it just it's a good movie. It just to me, it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I'm a little sick of the like. It just feels a little cookie cutter, you know? It's like we just keep doing the same cookie cutter over and over again. Whereas Superman, for instance,
Yeah.
and I guess that's what's hard is I just watched Superman that I was like, man, this
Yeah,
movie's
Superman's
fucking
better.
unique.
Yeah.
It's way better, but it's also just unique. It's not just that it's better. It feels unique. And do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I agree
Anything about
completely.
this movie feel unique to you?
Well, here's the thing. What I liked about both Superman and this is I feel like they're both movies that, like, in different ways, threw us into an
I
established
love that.
universe.
I would agree. That was my first thought when I watched this. Is I was
So
like,
I
damn,
really-
we're already involved.
I
I love we
enjoyed
didn't
that.
have to do. I know
Yeah.
I'm saying I want more development of the characters and such, but what
Yeah.
I don't need is more backstory.
Right.
And the way they do the backstory is very quick.
Nailed
I
it.
would agree. I
Yep.
knew you were going to feel that way, and I totally agree. And
Another
it's like,
movie just
boom,
like
we're doing it.
Superman and that's a new thing. We're not usually getting. That's what I like about Endgame too. Is like it's a movie that like we're
Starts.
18 movies in, but it's just like we're getting even more comic booky, and that's how both these movies felt. I just like Superman more. But Fantastic Four did that, and I liked that as well. And I think they did a good job. And I think that was a good move for Marvel overall, is to like throw us into a movie that's if this is a multiverse saga, show us another world. And
Yeah.
none of the rules in the other world has to make sense for these guys. We'll connect it later. And I've heard people say it's a really good phase 1 Marvel movie. And it kind of is. Like they beat the bad guy, they finish the thing. Galactus ain't out. If Galactus doesn't show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars, I will be fucking shocked. Galactus is way too big of a deal to just be shot like that. But like it worked for me in the movie itself. Can't remember what I was getting at with all that.
It's a great phase 1 movie. And I hear what you're saying. I guess for me,
But
it's just good. Yeah, give me your butt.
Something that I agree with, but my coworker Tanner actually said, like, there was a lot of things throughout the movie that he was just like, yeah, there were things I just had to go, sure. Like, yeah, we'll just go with, like, since you're telling me that that's how this is going. And there's a couple things like that where it's just like, yep, we're going to transport the Earth. Where, why, or how? And it's
Or
here,
the
similar,
fact that
yada, yada.
you're telling me the people of Earth agree to let it be transferred to a different solar system, and that happens like that. That they're like, yeah, so we're gonna let Reed Richards do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
and
guess you can
guess.
go along with it because they're the
did.
only
did.
superheroes of this universe. So like,
I did, but letting you transfer the Earth to a different solar system seems
Yeah,
kind of
that's
fucking
like-
crazy. And also that he's like, yeah, we should be within
and we
a
can do
certain
it. We can
range.
do it right now if we need to.
And then he's like, also, we're gonna get this done before Galactus gets here. And also that he's also like, hey, we can get it within this certain range. I don't remember what the range was exactly, but I know
It's like 2%.
a little bit. I know what?
It was like a 2% range.
Okay,
of
I
like
know enough about astrophysics to know that 2%, that is the difference between like the Earth is too hot or too cold for us to live. And that's what I kept thinking is like, that is enough to be like, no, we fucked this whole thing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is silly for sure.
It didn't happen. So I guess
know,
that's
but
good.
That's okay. Mine is that I'm supposed to believe that Susan Storm can move Galactus. That's mine.
I'm actually okay with that.
I
Because
hear
Susan
it.
Storm
I have to be okay with it. To be clear,
is one of the strongest characters in the comics.
I have to be okay with it. But as you're watching the film, you're like,
It hits
this
you in
is
the
a
face
little
at first.
unbelievable.
That's
and
another
this is the
thing that
moment,
worked
by
better
the
for me
way,
a second time.
It is the worst shot scene I've seen in a motion picture, a big motion picture in a long time. And it is her pushing him, and she's supposed to be using all of her effort. So much so, spoiler, that she... Let me show you what her face looks like when she's doing it. That's her forehead. Now, me personally, I don't know about you guys, I exercise. When I'm exercising hard, my face does this. Her face, and they zoom up on it, she's going like this. Because she has so much fucking plastic surgery in her forehead that her forehead can't move. And I know you're like, Jake, why do you care about this? I wouldn't care if they didn't zoom in on her face and try to make it like a big shot. That it took me out of the immersion. And I was like, what the fuck is this bitch doing? This is crazy. Anyway, it's a good movie though, dude. I just can't say that enough. I'm bitching about it because it just...
No, I agree, because I bitched about it for days before I watched it again, and I was like, it's pretty good.
It still just is like... But also, I have the problem of you being like, it's a good phase 1 movie. To being like,
True.
man,
True.
I'm so like,
But we're well past phase 1.
and also
You want a little more.
it's just like this idea that like, yeah, we're just supposed to accept like mediocre movies that could be a little bit better if you just made them their own movie. Like that's part of it. I think it could have been better if it's just its own movie versus this like setting up for the world.
But it still kind of is its own movie. I got to give it that. It only sets anything up in ways that you set anything up. Like it just ends with some loose threads.
When I see the Galactus thing done, all I could think about was like, we're just setting up Galactus to be like this great big bad guy that we're going to have to tackle in the future. And that's all I kept thinking. Now, I don't even know if that's true.
I hope he does show up more.
Feeling.
We need more of him. It's fucking Galactus. But for this particular movie and the story,
now I didn't see Thunderbolts, mind you, so I don't know if that changed anything for me.
Not really.
Yeah,
but still really good. You should watch.
Good post credit scene.
Yeah, the post credit scenes kind of tie from Thunderbolts, but the post credit scene in this was, I wanted a little more out of it, but like it was fine for what it was, considering this is the last movie before Spider-Man that takes place before the next Avengers movie. So. Okay,
so tell me the sequence here. I know you got to go, but tell me the sequence. So it's gonna go Spider-Man, and then Avengers again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we just got Fantastic Four. I think there might be some Disney Plus shows in between here and there, but like
I can't do the shows, brother.
Yeah, and I don't think you really have to. But
I
yeah,
think they usually blow.
Spider-Man next July 2026.
Yeah.
And then Avengers Doomsday comes out December 2026.
Oh.
And then Secret Wars comes out December 2027.
Who's the Avengers now?
Oh, dude, it's gonna be a fucking. You know how these things go.
Is that bad? Because okay, I'm gonna say some stuff. Is it?
You need to watch.
Is it the Black Captain America? Is he gonna be a part of this?
He's part of it, yeah.
Is it the Black Iron Man?
I don't know if she'll be involved.
I've heard not great things about these two movies. I've heard not good things. I've not heard any good things about these.
It's not because
movies.
they're black.
It's not because they're black. I just hear they're really bad movies.
I've heard like Ironheart isn't bad, but I've also heard it is. Bad, but I've heard back and forth.
I've heard
Falcon
the
Winter Soldier
suck.
Captain America 4. You can listen to me talk about it for 20 minutes in a couple episodes of this show.
I've heard both of them fucking suck.
Not great.
It's not because they're black, obviously. It's because the fucking movies suck.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else is in this.
I can't speak for Ironheart, but
what else is in this group of movies then? It's Fantastic Four.
Like phase 3 particularly? Or phase 4?
I mean, what are we doing for this Avengers? This group of Avengers? Who are we involving?
I mean, this is like the multiverse saga, which is phase 4 through 6, which is every movie since Black Widow till now. So Shang-Chi, the Eternals.
Apparently I have some movies
travel
to watch.
Through. Phase 6 in particular started with Fantastic Four. Phase 5's final movie was Thunderbolts. And
apparently I should watch some movies then.
You should watch Thunderbolts. Yeah, there's a couple. They're all going to tie in Multiverse of Madness, yada, yada, yada. It's a bit of a mess because, like I said, different fucking Bob Chapek was in charge of Disney, and then Bob Iger came back. So different people with different ideas of how they should make shit. There's a fuck ton of too many shows. Loki season 1 and 2, those are probably very important to what's going to happen in Doomsday. Have you watched any of Loki?
No, because I've not heard good things about all this kind of shit.
No, Loki's awesome, and you should watch both
seasons. I've checked out completely, if you can't tell. Now I guess I got to get back in.
Yeah, you need to get back on at least some of them. But yeah, I don't know. Fantastic Four in itself, to stick with this particular movie.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's hard. It's how these things work. It's
There's
hard
a lot of shit going, yeah.
Like that. It's a tough cookie because it is, like I said, second viewing, I had such a better time with it, and I'll probably watch it again, because I did like it. Few of my complaints, and I've seen these complaints elsewhere, so I don't want to take credit for any of them, but like, I could have seen Reed Richards doing some more stretchy shit. I mean, he didn't really use his power too much.
Thought that as well. Very little.
Which is fine. The movie didn't call for him to.
There wasn't a ton of action in the movie in general.
Thing about Reed Richards is he can also stretch his mind. That's why he thinks the way he does, and that's why he's so smart and yada yada yada. Like that's part of his stretchy skill. You saw more of that in this movie. You got to see Johnny Storm be kind of smart. I appreciated that. Like he's actually a really smart dude. Like he's not as smart.
Astronaut, for God's sake.
He's not as smart as the smartest. Like Reed Richards in the Marvel comics is the smartest man alive. Like so, he's not that smart. But like,
but he's an astronaut.
Yeah, Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still way smarter than most people.
I think he's the best of the 4 for me, like, by far.
Yeah, they casted him really well.
Yeah, he was great.
I really,
Talk to me
especially upon
more.
my second viewing, I was like,
Tell me more notes.
I'm just trying to think of everything, especially for a movie I've seen twice. There were some issues that I had the first time around that I think I got more on board, but I'm still like, I think if you're not familiar with a lot of the comic stuff, that like the stuff with their kid with Franklin could just kind of go over your head, especially when he brings his mom back to life at the end. You're just kind of like, sure, but like
Sure.
because like I know him as like what he is capable of. I'm like, oh yeah, that's him using his powers. But I don't think the movie really like Galactus says he's
I think it
special.
does
They
enough.
say he's special. It does enough. It
It does
does.
enough because
It does
I
enough.
you
I
you
just think
kinda
I wanted more at this point.
yeah. I think it does enough because I had no idea about it, and that happens, and I'm like, "That makes sense, he's very special." You don't know what he's about, but you know he's very, very, very special.
Right. So he can
So
do
it's at least
whatever.
believable.
Yeah, and they're gonna do more stuff. Like he's gonna be a very important piece in Doctor Doom's plans going forward. No doubt in my mind. That was another
Where is
thing I
that
really.
guy introduced?
He's gonna be introduced in Doomsday,
In
man.
okay,
Technically, he
gotcha.
was introduced in this movie. What I thought was really fun is so Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom, he kind of like in the comics owns this Latveria. Um, he's like the fucking leader of that country. And in this movie, there's a meeting of all the countries, and they show
Yes,
Latveria's seat.
and
And
there's
it's blank.
it's empty. I noticed that. That's
Yeah.
really funny that I noticed that.
So
That's
that
funny.
was cool that they showed that. I appreciate that for him to show up at the end.
That's
Of
cool.
this one.
I didn't realize that. That's really because I
Yeah.
didn't know that, but I did know that it was empty.
He'll be fully introduced as Robert Downey Jr. in Doomsday, but this was like his way of like this movie's way of
I
like
have some
tying
complaints
that
about
in.
that that I'll bitch
So
about
like me in
a year and a
particular, I'm
half.
like, oh, Robert Downey Jr.'s Victor Von Doom must be part of this universe, and it's gonna blend in because I mean that's the thing that's gonna have to happen with Doomsday. It's gonna just have to throw us into whatever their plan is because the movies haven't done it yet. So this
At all.
it's gonna start with like you thought thought Infinity War started crazy with Thanos fucking blowing up Thor's ships and taking all the Infinity Stones. They're gonna do that on like super drive come
Yeah.
Doomsday, no doubt, dude.